Welcome to PS3 Gamer Nation.
This is PS3 Gamer Nation, for gamers, by gamers, reviewing only PlayStation 3 games from disc-based to downloadable. I'm Sean McCoy, and today I'm going to be looking at NHL 10 by EA Sports. So let's get ready for some hockey. Now, on to the review.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Beginning the NHL 2009-2010 season, with a fresh start and a new hockey season, and a brand new hockey video game to play. EA has been putting out hockey video games for about 18 years now, which stretches back to approximately NHL 92 for the PC. Needless to say, they have come a long way. NHL 10 is more of a realistic hockey simulation game, where, as a direct competition, NHL 2K10 by 2K Sports is more of a fast-paced arcade-type hockey game, with simulation elements in it. Now, I know that there's a feud between these two games, as most other video game forums show, but I am only looking at NHL 10 in this review. As for graphics, to start off, I was really impressed with the introductions as you enter the arena in the Be a Player mode. Going from the video of lining up before entering the ice, then an over-the-shoulder view of skating around. Like I said, I was impressed. This is definitely a very polished game as far as the player models go, which is exactly what they use for introduction footage. Alright, enough with the introductions. What was really surprising is the amount of detail that they put into the crowd, ranging from what their actual faces look like to the animations or movements that they have during the course of the game. It is a pretty small thing in the game really, but seems to just take you out of the fantasy world of believing it's real. That is, if it's done poorly. However, this game does it very well. What I like about the crowd is that each fan at least seemed like to act on their own, and not just have a huge wave of fans. This could be very distracting, which is what they used to do years ago. The majority of the time, you'll be looking straight down at the ice, which is the default view in most modes found in the game. Naturally, you can change the camera view style to what you like the most. I generally keep it on the default style, with the logic of it must be like that for a reason or an advantage, even if it's unknown at the time. Now, when you're not playing a hockey game, you will be navigating through a three-dimensional menu. If you have ever played Dirt by Codemasters, you will see a fair amount of similarities. If you haven't, well, when you make a selection, don't be surprised to have the screen zoom by you or fly away from you depending on what you've selected. Graphics get 9 out of 10. Moving on to audio, the first thing you'll notice, and probably the biggest thing for audio, is the licensed music. As you would expect, it's mostly rock music from current to 80s rock. What is really neat is the options for customizing the music, and you can change what song gets played during the game for each event. For instance, say, music for the home team when you score. And you could also use the music that's on your PS3 hard drive, if it's in a playlist. The sound effects when you actually play the game are everything you would expect, like for example, the sound of a puck hitting the glass as you dump it into the zone. Everything coming out of the speakers keeps you into the game. It keeps you immersed into the hockey experience. One thing that I didn't understand on some other hockey games is the cheering for the 3 stars. As you would expect, the first star should get the most praise for both the crowd cheering and enthusiasm from the announcer. To my satisfaction, this is what happened in NHL 10. The crowd cheers and gets into the game as you would expect. The voices of the players talking to each other is a great added touch for realism. Audio gets 9 out of 10. Now as for gameplay, the default controls did take a little bit to get used to. I personally was used to using the R1 for shoot, so for the first 5 games I randomly pressed the wrong button by accident. That went away, though fairly quickly, as this is not a hard game to pick up and play, but you may be a little frustrated at first, especially when your player does things that you never intended on him to do. There are some advanced controls that do take a while to hone. You can try them out in game situations and hope for the best. Another option is to have a practice session, which is just a free skate so you can try all the moves you want. One thing I have noticed about the computer AI is that it learns. Gone are the days of using the same move on the goalies to score every time. Well, it is good while it lasted. So you may find yourself trying some more moves just to try and get the goalie or defenseman to give you an opening. And all the computer players on the ice are very smart. Again, gone are the days when the computer scores on your own net out of nowhere. This is definitely a huge improvement. Another cool improvement with the learning computer intelligence is your teammates. The more you play with your line mates, the more they learn your playing style and are more likely to break open on a breakaway. That is if you've done that for a while without much success. I was quite amazed by this. The best gameplay for a hockey game to this date. Gameplay gets 10 out of 10. Moving on to multiplayer online. Online leagues are a big part of the multiplayer aspect of this game. This can be either creating a unique team or playing with an existing NHL team. You can also have a quick game against someone else online as well. For the multiplayer portion, well, hockey is a team sport, so it's not a stretch to play with another friend or two. Although you cannot have multiple people playing alongside you while you are in the Be a Pro mode, you can still play in all other modes as you expect. Other than that, there isn't much you can really say about it. Pretty much for all the multiplayer and online options, it's what you should expect and executes it well. Multiplayer gets 8 out of 10. Moving on to replay value, this game has many different modes of play, way too many for one person to play through them all. The really nice part is that you can find out what mode suits you the best. Whether it's playing a whole lot of single games, it's your choice. There is a Stanley Cup playoff mode, which, well, is purely the excitement that is Cup fever. As mentioned before, you can play online in a league there. Other single player modes are Season Franchise mode and GM Franchise mode, which are very similar, but the GM mode lets you get more in depth with the operation over the normal franchise mode. The other main single player modes are the Be a Pro mode and Be an NHL Pro mode. Again, these are very similar modes with a clear distinction. In the Be a Pro mode, you create a player based on the player profile found in the main menu. This has two different ways of starting. The first one, and most natural, is you enter the entry draft, which even includes playing a prospects game between the North American and world players. The second option is purely picking the team you want to play on. Now for the Be an NHL Pro, you get to select which pro player you want to play as and continue on their career. Picking one of these options will keep you coming back for more, and there is something for everybody in this game. I found that after playing all the different modes, the one that suits me the best is the Be a Pro mode. The milestones and season expectations are great for keeping you focused on the season by season goal. It may sound a little strange, but I like that I was put on a third line to start off with, and that this gave me something to strive for. Replay value gets 10 out of 10. This game is worth all that you pay for it. It is a milestone for hockey games, and raises the bar for all other hockey games to beat. Although I can't really see what they would do to improve this game more, to get you to buy again. For now, this is the hockey game to beat. If you love hockey, then this game's for you. Final score is 9 out of 10. Thanks for checking out our podcast. There's now audio and video podcasts available at ps3gamernation.com. Be sure to email us at ps3gamernation@gmail.com for questions or comments. You can go to the forum through our website or directly at ps3gamernation.net. Because in the end, it's for gamers, by gamers. This is PS3 Gamer Nation.